Hey everybody, this is Anne, and I'm going to go through the sample articles of incorporation that I found on the internet and make sure it complies with all of the state statutes. So, first things first, you need to define the state statutes, and I my company is incorporating in Wisconsin, so I headed over to Westlaw, put Wisconsin as my state, and found the state statutes, specifically this state statute 181.0202, Articles of Incorporation. And I'm going to go through all of these. Okay, so required content. The Articles of Incorporation shall include all of the following information: a statement that the corporation is incorporated under this chapter. Okay, so back to my sample. They do have a little paragraph here talking about the chapter of the Wisconsin statutes, but it looks like they have the wrong one. They have 180. So they have the wrong chapter, but they tried. They have something here talking about statutes. So we'll give that. They did it halfway right. Okay, going on. A corporate name for the corporation that satisfies this other statute. So I'll click on that. Okay, a corporate name has to have corporation, incorporated company, or any of the abbreviations in it. And Midwest Inkers Inc. complies with that. Okay, so then the corporate name also may not contain language stating or implying that the corporation is organized for a purpose other than that permitted by this statute. So I'll click on that. And this says that the corporation must not be engaging in, or it must be engaging in lawful activity. Okay, so Midwest Inkers, I'm assuming is engaging in lawful activity. Inker sounds lawful, I guess, unless they're forging documents or something. Okay, so back to corporate name statutes. Okay, so it has to be distinguishable from any domestic corporation or foreign corporation. So I went ahead and already ran a search for a name, and it looks like Midwest Inkers Inc. is available. I got to this website from the Secretary of State's website, and this was like a business name search, and nothing came up. So I'm assuming it's a distinguishable name. Okay. So it's a distinguishable name, so I don't need to do this. Okay, back to the previous statute about required content. Okay, so I'm going to say their corporate name satisfied 181.0401. So for it, next, my Articles of Incorporation needs to have the mailing address of the initial principal office of the corporation. And right here, initial registered office. Yes. Right here. I guess the initial office is at this attorney's office. Okay. Anyways, they have initial registered office and an address, so it complies. I'm assuming principal office and registered office are the same. Okay. The street address of the corporation's initial registered office and the name of it. Okay, so they're different. So it does have the initial registered office and initial registered agent. It does have this: initial registered office, initial registered agent. So back to, oh, so I guess my sample articles of incorporation does not comply with C here. Oh my gosh, initial principal office of the corporation. I don't see that anywhere on here. Okay, so my samples articles of incorporation does not comply with part D, but it does comply with E. Oh gosh, it doesn't comply with C, but it does comply with D. Okay, so the name and address of each incorporator. It does have that name and complete address of each incorporator. Whether or not the corporation will have members. Oh my gosh, go away. I don't see anything about members. Okay, just kidding. Right here, initial members. So it does. Name and address of members. There's 3 of them. So it complies with that. If the authorization is, if the corporation is authorized to make distributions under this, click on that. Purchase of membership distributions. I don't see any of this on there. So I guess my articles of incorporation doesn't comply with G. Okay. Not looking good here. Moving on, permissible content. The articles of incorporation okay, so this is not required information. Cool, okay. So, oops, it looks like my sample articles of incorporation does not adhere to part D here. Doesn't have oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It doesn't comply with part C, the mailing address of the initial principal office. I don't see anything about a principal office on here. And it also does not comply with Part G. The corporation is authorized to make distributions under any of what was listed here. So it looks like this wasn't not an airtight articles of incorporation. I hope I covered everything. Thank you.